Laura Franco.
Do you mind if I really need a hug right now.
I don't know if I'm...
Oh! I really needed this.
He broke up with me.
And now my life is over.
I know it sucks. Eat some pie.
I'm disgusting.
Sleep. And don't cry. Don't cry.
Hello?
What's up? You got 2 weeks. After that, you're out of here. You pack your bags and get out.
What'd you do last night?
I read. I went over lines.
Play a different song!
But something really weird is happening at home.
Someone's annoying right now!
Can we talk about it?
I can't. I gotta go to karate. I love you so much.
You two know each other?
Yeah.
No. Yes.
Oh.
I'm kidding.
We're together for 5 years and I just messed it all up.
The prick broke up with you when you were in the hospital.
I can't do it. I need time for me.
I could threaten to eat him if that would help. I mean, I could eat him. It would literally take me like 2 seconds.
There's this Halloween party, and maybe you'd like to come with me.
Are you asking me out on a date?
No.
Well, I'm not gonna leave the house.
Fine.
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 I saw you with her, but for some reason, I still love you, and I don't want you anymore.
He doesn't love you the way you deserve to be loved.
What do you know about how I deserve to be loved? Look at me!
I'm looking at you.
Look!
From this angle, I can see your back and your face simultaneously. That's how much I'm looking at you.
I'm a mess!
No, you're not.
I'm a disaster!
Oh.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the NRW, where nerds rule the world, and it is spooky season, and I am Heather Hurt.
And I'm Kuya P.
That's Kuya P.
Oh. Sorry, I was like, oh, she's doing that, so I was like, and I'll say that.
No, I mean, hey, rock on.
Rock on.
I'm having fun with my
You're right in the middle. You're like
robotic voices. Okay, let's talk your monster. We aren't getting much in the form of like horror-y, spoopy stuff this season, so having a little bit of something, even if it's just a wee bit, is really nice to see. Real quick overview, real quick cast, and then we're going to get into the review because this is a fun movie, and I think that it deserves a little bit of a spotlight. But we also don't want to bore you with the details. We'd rather you just go watch the movie. To get right into it, Your Monster is directed and written by Carol and Lindy. It is produced, and you get a character named Maisie in the film, played by Kayla Foster. The reason I'm bringing them both up first is I did an interview with them up on the website, either at the time of this review or shortly after. So go to check that out. I had a lot of fun talking to them. It was a really short, it's a 5-minute interview. So if you want to hear some fun things about what this movie is based off, because by the way, it is a true-ish story. If you want to hear what the movie is about, go listen to that interview. It's really, really fun. Along with that, we have Final Girl herself. And I just totally, what's going on with my Melissa Barrera? My notes just went away. Melissa Barrera. I've been having this problem all week, guys. Final Girl herself from Scream, and yes, we are sad to see her not coming back. We're not just happy about that. Along with the monster, that's his name, Monster, Tommy Dewey, and we also have Edmund Donovan, who played Jacob, Megan Fahey, who played Jackie Donnan, and several other people. As you know, it takes a village to make a film. This is a small production in reality, especially since it's based in Broadway, and they are creating a Broadway musical during this, but it's really fun to see how a small production can feel very big, especially in a place like New York City. Most of this takes place in a house, and you wouldn't expect it in some ways, but we'll get into that. So that's the cast for the most part, plus the director and writer, of course. And then now let's jump right in to the story. The story is very simple. Laura, carrots, keyword, Laura, has just had cancer, and her boyfriend of many years, who also is writing a musical specifically for her, with a character named Lori, decides that he just can't handle her and he needs to take his own time. And he breaks up with her while she is going through the surgery to get rid of tumors in her body. Because that's what good men do, especially men who write musicals about women and how women are being oppressed. Really putting himself in other people's shoes. So that's really as far as, I don't want to dig too much into this because we do want you to see it. This was a fun movie. It's a pretty quick one. I think it's an hour and 45 minutes, pretty short, nice and sweet. But the film is about Laura finding her voice, finding her strength again after the surgery, after this breakup, and learning about who she is and what she needs to be to take control of her life again. Through that, she has interactions with Jacob, her ex-boyfriend, her best friend Maisie, and hijinks ensue when she is introduced to Monster, when Monster introduces himself during all of this, and they build up a romantic relationship. Take that word romantic as you will. The movie is technically a comedy, but it's actually listed as a romantic comedy horror. And
anti-romantic comedy horror.
And we've seen anti-romantic. And Maisie herself, Kayla Foster, wow, I'm getting names everywhere. Kayla Foster said she calls it a comfy horror, which I can agree with. It's not really horror-y, but So going into it, before we talk characters, before we talk any of that stuff, Kuya P, initial thoughts.
Initial thoughts. Did we do a react to this? I think we did.
We did a very last minute reaction. So this movie,
yes,
depending on when this trailer comes out, the movie released on October 25. We did a trailer reaction during our weekly, and that's when we started talking about how we haven't seen many trailers, and this is one of those examples where this movie seemed like a fun one in the trailer, but it kind of just came out of the blue and appeared magically the week of release. So yeah.
And then you had the interviews, and I think we both watched it in time to it as well. And it's a fun movie. It's a fun, cute movie. And we're getting into you said initial thoughts. Well, not thoughts, but I'm a fan of Melissa Barrera. Big fan of Melissa Barrera. She's very easy on the eyes, and just her acting chops are very good as well. And she pulls, oh my gosh, and her acting chops even more in this one, like, because of just everything she has to go through. Amazing. Like, yeah, she's queen. She's queen, and she's fantastic in this. And I'll get into those thoughts when we get to the review portion. My apologies, but I love the concept of it from the trailer that when we first came into it. I'm like, okay, I dig this. And then doing a little bit more of the historical dive of the actual production based on the short film, true-ish story, as you said. Shout out to Carolyn Lindy. I look forward to listening to your interview with her, as well as the actor that played Maisie. I love how this was just like short film project that became a feature, shot in 20 days, I read, in Hoboken, New Jersey. Like, props. And it looks like a more big budget film. So really separating itself from the rest of the indies out there. But I just love, as an indie filmmaker, like, boom, they made it look good. They made it look like a big studio film, and it works and runs like that. And I do hope with us talking about it that we get more eyes on it and everybody else sees it, because it's really a great film and perfect for this spooky season.
Mm-hmm. Especially if you like the lighter hearted, because we like some of the harder stuff, but there are people who like to kind of cross that line of lighthearted and spooky. So this is one of those where there is a little blood, there is a little gore, but when we say a little bit, we mean a little bit, little bit. And my real initial thoughts to this film is, remember that when you want to be an ally, you have to stand with and support up. You don't get in front of people and put yourself ahead of them. Men. Okay? Fellow white women. Okay? It's just allyship. You don't get to call yourself an ally. You get called an ally. Cool. All right. So the reason I bring that up primarily is because Kuya P actually, he's got to see this movie before me, because the hopes was that he was going to get the interview. I was just lucky enough to do it. So he got to see it. And the one thing that he's like, I really want your opinion, because this movie is about female empowerment. Primarily, and that's, we also want to use that term female because of course people with vaginas range across genders, but it's supposed to be about that kind of more traditional concept of female empowerment, especially since the musical is literally to mock the idea of men or allies taking those positions. And it was a really good, kind of simplistic and not so subtle. None of this is subtle. There ain't no subtlety in any of this film, including the smexy scene. There ain't no subtlety about what's going on. So it was really fun to see how that concept was transitioned. And once again, this felt like a much bigger production when you realize that it was actually very small. So it was a lot of fun. Now to get into the full-blown review, once again, we're going to try and make this nice and quick and sweet, because once again, go check this out. It is exclusively in theaters, unfortunately. And I say that just not because you shouldn't go. It's more, I feel like this movie would also be a really good, comfy stay-at-home movie. So that's just, in all reality, I really enjoyed it, but I do feel this is a comfy stay-at-home film. Costumes are very simple. They match his makeup. Monster's makeup is great. It's very like just it's like he's almost human, and I think that's kind of the point. What did you think of Monster and like the actual character, not so much the acting?
Definitely agree. Makeup on point. Gave me that Ron Perlman vibes when beyond Hellboy. To me, you know, Guillermo saw what he did when he was it was like Beast. Well, I forgot the name of the TV series that Ron Perlman
I know what you mean.
did for years and just was outstanding. And that's why he obviously got the call when Guillermo decided to make Hellboy. Kind of gave me those vibes. Looks somewhat human, but also somewhat, you know, half human hybrid beast man would look like. So just great look on the visuals. Makeup was on point, and acting I thought was great. I love kind of this character guy that he is, but also he's this monster and the go-between, and just also this, I'm trying not to spoil, but where this could be in relation to with Lisa Franco, or is it Laura Franco? Melissa Barrera's character. Yeah, just well done. Mm-hmm. And like this poster images too, like just gives me all that, kind of gives me Teen Wolf vibes a little bit because of just like the look and skin tone and beast tone, I guess. Yeah, look, now I'm like really seeing Teen Wolf all of a sudden now, and just love it. It harkened back to like 80s real effects, you know, practical effects, and they just did a great job with makeup and costuming for the character.
I also really just into tagging with that, they also had some really cool sets. When we got to see Monster's home, you felt very reminiscent of just your life, of your nostalgia. There was a lot of nostalgia just like put into the room, into the clothing. It's very comfortable, which is why I really like the idea of this being a comfy horror. This is the costuming is great. The appeal is great. There's low lighting. And it's just like, even the party they go to, it feels very like warm and welcoming in a space that's technically, and the purpose of it, it's technically not. These are technically places where she is feeling pushed away out of, even her own home, where Monster is trying to kick her out of it, because as Kuya P just mentioned, this is his home now. He decides that he's tired of being a monster. Not too spoiler. He's tired of being a monster, and he wants it. That's in the trailer. Don't get mad at us. It's in the trailer. So with that being said, go straight into kind of our final thought critiques here. The training, the acting was great. I really like Kayla Foster made a comment. I asked her why, if she's a producer, why she wanted to be a secondary character, and her comment is well, when you get to be a bitch on camera, it gives you like kind of this freedom to be a bitch everywhere else, and I really liked that.
I love that.
You can really feel that the cast had fun in this movie, from the beginning, from the breakup all the way to the end, to that really, I'm going to call it a climax. In this case, it was definitely a climax. I think you could feel it. You could definitely feel it. puns intended, not intended, all the things. This was just a very fun, simple popcorn movie that gives a woman her voice back in the most extreme way possible. So that's my final thought. I love the costume. I love the set. This was actually a surprising. I was expecting a pretty fun film. To me, this was a surprisingly good one, and I do think it's going to hit women who have felt oppressed, women that have felt put down, especially women of color, like Melissa Barrera, and I think that it's going to give a lot of people kind of like, you'll be able to see yourself in Laura. You'll be able to see herself when she falls apart, and I think that's a good thing. Once again, the message is not subtle, and it's done on purpose, and it's a lot of fun. So, Kuya P, final thoughts?
Definitely. I echo all those sentiments, although I am not a woman. I love that aspect of the message of the film. That's the biggest thing I love about this film. I cannot wait for my wife to watch this film or my daughter to see this film, the women in my life to see the film. Like, I was eager for you to see this film and hear your thoughts. And I'm so happy that you were pleasantly surprised, because, you know, you and I watch a lot of films with the work that we do. So this really not shocked me, but really delighted me that it was so good, because I love Melissa Barrera, and just seeing how this film again was made, as you were saying earlier, with how just everything looked. It had the cast and crew did such a brilliant job. Like, this looks like a big budget film, although it was very little locations, but because of the costuming, the lighting, and everything that we've said, just it made it look like a major feature and separated itself from the rest of the indie folks out there. And so, yeah, I really enjoyed this film. It was really a delight. And my biggest thing, though, is the messaging of this film. I just love that it exists, and that I hope, you know, whether you're a female or not, I think it speaks to everyone about when you feel like you're meek or quiet, or just people are letting you down, to rage out sometimes, let that inner beast out, and just, yeah, find yourself, find your, and just love thyself, and push yourself out when people try to push you away. Speak your truth, and yeah, just love everything about this film. It was really well done and a surprise. Yeah.
And just real quick, I just didn't say it. And this also really hit hard for those of you who are theater nerds out there, or even, even actors in general, or people who have tried to make it in any entertainment industry. Yeah. Seeing Barrera, actually, you can feel the climb, you can feel the pull, you can feel the pressure, and that was really nice. I was just like, yeah, I've been there, girl. I've been there.
I'm happy you point. I got to tell you, thank you for pointing out. Because we almost missed out on saying that. Yeah. So I felt that. Yeah, we're nerds. We're theater nerds. We're acting nerds. I love that. Yeah,
absolutely. It was a nice little add-in. All right. Your Monster, as of this recording, is literally premiering in theaters today, October 25. Please go check it out in theaters. I think that it's also set to stream real quick. So if you don't get a chance to see it, I think there's a pretty quick simultaneous stream. But definitely check it out. This movie was definitely a surprising one, and we really enjoyed it. Your Monster, if you have any opinions, if you go see it, if you disagree with us, or if you agree with us, please comment below, like, share, subscribe, all those things, and we will see y'all soon.